Chicago and the CEO of Bridge Mission International. How are you, sir? Awesome to see you.
Fine. What about you?
I'm good. I'm great. And how you doing, sir? How's been the
I'm
work?
doing great.
Thank you
Work is
so
doing
much.
fine.
Thank
It's
you. It's
nice.
awesome to connect back.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So basically, we've been discussing circle of influence, and today we've been talking about from crowd to congregation, from congregation to the core, and from core to the last one, which is I
We're
think
talking
yes,
about from congregation to committed, from committed to the core.
committed to core, from
Yeah.
congregation to committed, from committed to the core. So over to you. Let me allow you to do the justice. You're the pro and the best on this. Let me allow you to do the justice on that. Okay. Thank you.
No problem. So thank you, Brother Tayo. It's a privilege to be on this platform. I'm very sorry, for missing in action for the past some days now. It's been, schedule. I think I have a conflict in my schedule, but I believe everything is going to work out going forward. So I want to tell everybody I'm sorry, for not being consistent, with this interview. But going forward, I think we're going to be consistent with it. So let me just go straight forward. Today I'm going to be talking about congregation. And before I do that, I just want to do a quick recap. We'll talk about relationship, and we said relationship is a ship that will take you to your destiny or your destination. And we say for you to achieve something like that, you need to have, for relationships, very, very important that you need to have in your life. Talk about relationship with your creator, relationship, with yourself, relationship with people around you, and relationship with your environment. And next we talk about, before you do all this relationship, you need to ask yourself all these questions. Why am I in this relationship? What? What am I doing in this relationship? How do I need to make this relationship better? When am I supposed to start? Then where is the relationship taking me to? And after we talked about that one, I talked in depth about all this stuff, and later on we'll now talk about the 4 circles of relationship that everybody needs to have in our life. When people talk about, you need to have somebody that's, outer cord, inner cord, and most only, you need to have somebody that is, somebody that people talk about in a very simple way, and say you need to have somebody that for you to be successful in life, you need to have this relationship in your life. You have people, your outer carcass, you need to have people, your middle carcass, and you need to have your inner carcass. But I said that, for all to be successful in life, as a Christian in our relationship, that these 4 things that we need to have and we need to build, as individual. Number one, I talked about crowd, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, talking about we need to have crowd in our life. And the purpose of a crowd is just for people to share you up. You need a crowd. I talked about different companies having a crowd, that is just the beginning, to you getting to know this company, Coca-Cola, you have football club, Chelsea, Manchester, Man U, everybody, they have their own crowd, and they have their own congregation, and they have their own, committed, and have their own core. You see some people that when they are watching the game, they would do, you see them, making food, throwing a party, when they lose, you see them crying. That is to show you the extent of which people wanted to feel belonging. They want to be in a carcass. They want to be in a circle. They want to belong to something that they are benefiting from. So that is why, as an individual, we need to build that relationship too. We need to have a crowd. The purpose of a crowd is just for you to be able to get to know people. Crowd is, you're not very close to crowd, but you know that there are people that just love you naturally. They love what you do. That's why you go on all these celebrity Instagram page, you see them, that they have 3 million, 7 million, 10 million people that just love them. And they keep doing it. They keep building the crowd. The reason why is because when you have a crowd, it's very easy for you to get your vision moving, But one thing about crowd is that they will ask you questions. They may support you today, tomorrow they may attack you. That is part of the crowd. But when you now have another set of people that you need to have in your life is what we call congregation. And it's very, very important. When you look at the life of Jesus Christ have, the crowd, he have the congregation, and he have the committed, and he have the call. What are the examples? When he was going to, the Bible talks about when he was going to Jerusalem. The Bible talks about the triumphant entry of Jesus Christ, where the crowd, the same crowd, everybody say, Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna. They put palm tree on the floor. They did everything for him. They put their cloth, they put palm tree. Everybody was just hailing him. And the same crowd, the same set of people that said, crucify him, crucify him, crucify him, because that is the purpose of a crowd. But you see that Jesus Christ had a congregation. When he was about to start his preaching ministry, he did something very, very significant. The Bible says he sent out the 70 with the disciples, and he asked them to go in twos. So that means that even though Jesus Christ have 12 disciples, that is the committed, he still have the word, the call. Talk about Peter, James, and John. That is just the call. The committed is the 12 disciples, the call is Peter, James. So then Jesus Christ have congregation, which is what? The 70 that is sent out, to go and preach. So what's the difference between the call? What's the difference between the committed and the difference between the congregation and the crowd is just you've spent some time with them. The difference between you having a congregation and having a crowd is because you've taken time to spend some time, with the congregation. You've converted your crowd to your core. And that is what we need to do in a circle of influence. God wants us to convert our core, our crowd into congregation. That's why you see all these companies, the first entrance into you, into them getting you to buy their stuff, or the first entrance into them, getting you to like them, the first entrance into them, making them to market what they wanted to buy is sort of about being, a crowd. And from crowd, they will tell you that, okay, you need to now be, a member. You need to be part of their member. You need to have, monthly membership. I remember that, right there in US, when you go to like a Costco, like a store, they will ask you, okay, you can just come in and buy whatever you want to buy. But when you want to come in early, or you want to come at certain time, you need to be a member. And even when you be a member, there are different stages of membership. There's just the regular member, there's just the gold member, and there's just, the big members. And the same thing when you go to Nigeria, I talked about, I remember I went to Nigeria, someone was telling me, which one do you want? Do you want just ordinary persons? You want to be VIP, you want to be VVIP, and you want to be, inner member. So everybody has something like that. So for you in life, you need to develop your congregation. Why do you need your congregation? Because you need your congregation to help you fulfill God's plan and purpose in your life. You need that to help you fulfill God's plan and purpose in your life. And for you to be that congregation, it's very, very important to create a climate, that people will want to be part of it. Let me give you an example. Jesus Christ, when he was starting, his own journey, the Bible talks about he went out to do what? To selected 12 disciples, which is we're talking about the committed. But apart from selecting the 12 disciples, just guys, you have some other people. We can see that the Bible talks in the book, in the book of Acts, in the time of Pentecost, there are 1,000 people in the upper room praying. Just guys left with 12 disciples. But when people came to pray, the Bible talks about 120 people staying in the upper room, praying to receive from, just to receive the Holy Spirit. So the same thing as an individual, the first thing is just your crowd. But when you have a crowd, the goal of you having a crowd is to commit them, is to make them your congregation. And that's why you see all the companies do that. The first thing they do is that, they do a lot of advertisement. Why do you think, like, I remember here in America, in Chicago, that's what we call Super Bowl. It's a big game where some company will spend $5 million for just 30 seconds advert or one. So why did they do that? Because of that, once we can, get in touch with you, once we can make you like what we have, it make it easier for us to convert you to become our congregation. The same thing, with companies, the same thing with football companies, the same thing with, when you talk about, I remember Nigeria. I remember last time I went to Nigeria, I was in my brother's house and I saw them. One thing I know is that about these people, they love football, and you see them throwing a party, doing kind of stuff because of football. And even though in throwing a party, they see that level. You say, okay, no, this is just, you are just in stage one of being a fan. You are stage two, you are stage three, you are stage four. There are people that have just, even in this place, they actually, if you are going to watch, a game, they will actually, which do you want? Do you want just to sit, in just open space? Do you want to sit, very close to the court? Do you want to sit, in a close reserve place for some set of people? Do you want to sit in a club member, high-class club member? So that is why everybody, you need to develop your congregation. And congregation is developed from your what? From your crowd. So how do you move people from being a crowd to your congregation? It's very, very easy. The first thing you need to do is you need to create a climate that people will want to belong to. In life, there are three things that people want to associate with. People want to be believed. That is very, very important. And you need to create an atmosphere that makes people to believe themselves. People want to be believed. It's very important to create that atmosphere for people to be believed. Very, very important to do that for them. Because if you don't do that for them, you're going to lose them. That is one thing we all need to do as an individual. When we are creating, this atmosphere for our congregation. Another thing that people want to belong. They want to belong. We need to create an atmosphere that will make people feel belong anywhere they are. And the last thing that people want to become. The purpose of bringing them into your company. The purpose of bringing them into your circle of influence. The purpose of bringing them into what you do is to make them to believe. First of all, then from believing to become belonging, and from belonging to become. Because when they become, it's very easy for you. They can die for you. They can do anything for you. That is why you see when Peter came, when they came, when in the Garden of Gethsemane, when they came, the priest servants, the high priest servant, when they came to arrest Jesus, the Bible talks about Peter took out his sword and cut the what? The hair of one of the people that came, to arrest Jesus, because at that time Peter has already become a full-blown member, of believe in what Jesus was doing. And that is what we need to do in life. So in our circle of influence, our goal is to all of us have a crowd. And to have your crowd is very easy. To have your crowd is that you create your Facebook, create your Instagram, YouTube, where you find yourself, your environment, your church, your company. That is how you find your crowd. Then the next thing that you must make sure you convert your crowd into your congregation. For you to convert them to your congregation, like what I said earlier, first thing first, you must create an atmosphere for them to be able to belong, to love what you are doing. Create a climate that is conducive for them. That's why you see every time you see all the celebrities, they always every day creating a content. You see them putting the content out every day. The same thing, companies, always spend a lot of money on marketing. Why do they spend money on marketing? Because they want to make sure they want to convert their crowd to the congregation. But the purpose of everything is to make them to become the core. But it's starting from somewhere. First of all, from a crowd to congregation. So the difference between a crowd and a congregation is that you spend more time with the congregation. You've shown them what the benefit they're going to get, from becoming, you're coming to your circle. You've given them something to believe in. You've given them something to believe. You've given them something, to belong. And you've given them something that they're going to become. And another thing you need to tell them is that you need to communicate value to them. Nobody wants to join anything if you are not communicating value to them. It will be a foolish thing for me to just say, I want to be your friend, or I want to be in your caucus, I want to be in your group. The reason why people can die for people, the reason why people can die for their club, Arsenal fan, Chelsea fan, Man U, Chicago Cubs, Red Sox. The reason why people can die for the football club they love or the basketball club they love is because they've moved from one level to another, and they can even tell you that, I remember the year that, this person was playing, he had how many dunk, how many basketball, this and this. They can even tell you that to show to the extent of how the level of communication. So for you to convert people from your crowd to communication, you need to communicate the value to them. And you need to do it constantly, every day, communicating your value, because the most important thing in your start of relationship is your communication. And you must make sure you communicate to them in a simple way that they can understand. Very simple. That don't make it complex. Don't make it. If you look at every company in life, you see Coca-Cola, you see Coca-Cola, you see what again? Apart from Coca-Cola, you can see different companies. You see Ford Motors, you see Tesla. Everybody, they have a mission statement and a what? And a vision statement. You can see that they make it very simple. Very simple. Look at Nike. You just do it. You see the mark. So and everybody, it's something that everybody can know. It's just it's just like a pass mark. That is their logo. Anybody can just see, and that's why you see they have a brand, and they make sure they communicate their brand to people in a way that people can know it. Even when they are sleeping, they know it. And that's why they make sure they make their branding very simple, very attractive, something that you can remember, that you don't have to forget. They do it like Nike, you get what I'm saying? Because very simple. So you need to communicate to your crowd to make them your congregation. Communication is very, very important. Make it simple, make it straightforward, and make it something that communicate value to them, and something that they can relate to it, and something that they can be able to be proud of. You see people in Nigeria, okay, white people say, okay, I go to Winners, I'm a winner. I go to Daystar, I go to Elevation Church, I go to Redeem, I go to that. Why do you think people talk about that? Or, I work for Shell, I work for Chevron, I work for NMPC, I work in this company. Why do people talk like that? Because you see that they've already high, to the value of that company. They've already buy to what? To the vision and the missions of that company. And they've already buy to the value of that company. The company has already communicated value to them, and they make it very simple and very, very clear. Now, that's the second thing you need to do. Make sure you make your communication simple. And the next thing is you need to tell them the benefit of what they're going to get. If you're going to join my company, this is what you're going to get. And that's why every company always talk about that. You see, when you want to become a fan of any football club, or a fan of any basketball club, or a fan of anything, they will tell you the benefit, what you're going to get. What you're going to get. The first thing that you're going to communicate to people is that make sure, let them know that, give them an identity. You see, people in Nigeria or people when their company, their team is going to play, what do? They wear their team T-shirt. That won't give them an identity that I belong to this club. That was one thing I saw. Somebody sent a video to me, and that video was very, very funny. I saw a masquerade, wearing whether a Chelsea or a Man U something, and the guy decks up in African clothes, but designed something like that, and it was dancing. So you can see that they identify. You must let people know the value. Why do you want me to be in your circle? Why do you want me to join the company that you're starting? Why do you want me to do? Why do you want me to be a part of what God is asking you to do? Why do you want me to do? Why do you want me to be part of what God is telling you? Why do you want me to join? Your church. Why do you want me to join? Why do you want me to buy? Why do you want me to buy your brand? Why do you want me to? Why do you want me to stand in gap for you? Why do you want me to? Stand for what you're doing? The issue is that you need to tell the people the benefit. What converts people from being a crowd to make sure that you need to know the benefit. Make it simple to them. Number one, give them an identity that if you come to this company, this is what you're going to have. And identity is simple. Some people do what they call, some people wear T-shirt, some people have souvenir, people do different kind of stuff. You see some people, they put it on their social media page, they blast it, they even customize their clothes, customize their car, customize their house. That's something I watched, and I saw that this person, customized his house in a way that, everything was Gucci. Everything from it was brand, from the chair to the table to something. So that person already, is already, a full-blown member of that company. I've already bought into what that company is selling. So, and it is ready to sell it anywhere. So the first thing you do to get your crowd to become a congregation, first thing you need to do, number one, communicate a simple, let them have an identity. It may be a symbol, it may be, a shirt, it may be anything. Let them have an identity. Let them know that once you belong to this thing, this is an identity. That is number two. First thing you need to do. Number two, another thing you need to do, give them support and courage. When they belong to this company, there's going to be a support, there's going to be a courage. That's why in any church, when something happens, what do? You support them. When they're having their birthday, you see, like, I remember, there's one restaurant I went to eat. After going there 2 or 3 times, they asked us to put in our birthday. And I remember a day to my birthday, just a week to my birthday, they sent me an email that, Olumide, you can come, it's your birthday, we're giving you $10 off on the meal you're going to buy. So you need to give them support and encouragement. Be there for them. It's very, very important. If you want people in your circle, if you want them to be part of your congregation in your circle, you need to communicate support to them, communicate courage to them. And that means, you need to let them know when you come to this, when you come to join what I'm doing, when you come to this company, one thing we're going to let you know at the company that we're going to let you discover who you are. I'm not going to let you use your gift. That's why you see in anything people do. I want to use like soccer. In Nigeria we love soccer, we love football. You see them like, what do they do? You see people doing different kind of stuff. You see people, if they know how to cook, what do? They say, okay, I can cook, and I'm a what? I'm a Chelsea fan, I'm a Man U fan, I'm a this person fan, I'm a this person something. You see them, they will cook. And what do? People in that community support them. People in that community patronize them, and they won't use their glass. So you can do this. Okay, come on. Our next team is playing. We're going to come to your restaurant to come and to come and eat. And what do? They know that you have that gift to cook. So what did they ask you to come? So make sure when people come to join your brand, or when people come to be in your circle, make sure you help them discover and make them use their gift. And that is what people want to. People want to become. People want to believe. People want to believe, belong, and become. And another thing you need to do for them is that, give them a sense of protection. Give them, I remember when I was growing up, I remember when my school, we went for inter-house sport. Inter-house sport means that, one school is playing against one another. I remember that day, a fight broke up. And people in my school supported, we saw them beating somebody. And everybody around, you can't beat this person from our school. So you need to give them protection. If you want somebody in your congregation, if you want someone to be in your group, you need to give them a sense of protection. It's very, very important. When you see a Man U, when you see, a Manchester United, when you see a Chelsea, when you see, all these companies, they give you, they'll tell you that, if you come and buy this thing and it doesn't work, we'll give you another one. Something just happened to my wife, just for visiting. My wife bought something from a company, and after 3 months, the stock stopped working. And the next thing she did is that she called them and she sent them an email and said, okay, we are sorry, so we're going to send you another one. It's a set of work protection that, don't worry. What they're doing, even though, because what are they doing? They are trying to tell her that, we want you to support our brand. So if what you bought from us was spoiled, and we're going to replace it for you. And that is what company does. They do that all the time, just to get you to become part of them, to get their brand. So what do you need? Tell them the benefit of being in your caucus. Tell them the benefit of being in your group. The next thing is that give them protection. And the last thing is give them accountability. They can't just be in your group or in your sense and just represent you anywhere. You know what I'm saying? You can't just say, I'm a Chelsea fan, or I'm a Man U fan, or I'm a Manchester United fan, or I'm a this fan, I'm a Cubs fan, and you wear the company uniform and start acting out. They give you a sort of accountability. Because when you become to that group, there's what we call accountability. You become accountable. Because people are looking after you are a member of a group, that's why you see some people there, no, you cannot move from one place to another place. You see people in the club and everybody's like, no, this is our home, no, this is our own club. You can't come here, this is our own club. This one belongs to this person. And you even see, I've seen in Nigeria, I've seen pastor, talking about the club. Sometimes they wear their club t-shirt, they say, no, this is what we do, we are accountable, even though when they lose, when they win, they don't say because we lose, so we are not part of that club. So when you want people to become, when people want to come to circle as a congregation, in that congregation level, you need to make sure, you give them a sense of protection. Make sure they are protected. So those are the things you need to communicate to do for people to become, to come into your circle, for them to become, outer core of your circle. Some people talk to you, you have your peer, you have your protege, and you have your mentor. But these are the things that you need to do, and everybody needs to have that thing at the back of their mind, because that is what companies are doing. The companies are doing it, and they are doing it in a more bigger way, because you see them branding the kids right from a young age, and it's a process. Right from a young age, you see them in their cartoon, in everything they do. You see they're very branding them, and that is what we have the system of branding. They're very branding people. Coca-Cola will brand you. They will show you something like, I want Coca-Cola. And when they're watching a movie, you see that they just bring one advertisement, just come right like this, and they are, Daddy, can you buy this thing for me? It's already training their mind right from a young age. And so you too, as a person, you can, whatever God has called you to do, God can give you people that can support you. But for them to be able to support you, for them to be in your circle of influence, the issue is that you have to build them from being a crowd to a congregation. And another thing you need to do is that then you need to make sure you create a way to assimilate people. It's very, very important that you as a person let people know that, once you tell them benefit of your company, create a way to assimilate people. You see that, when you look at different companies, I remember like I told you about a store I went to. I used to go and buy something, but told me that, if you want to come here, if you want to get this, so, you need to register. Create a way to let people know. You see, I saw a comedian or a celebrity in the okay, I want to join my Instagram page. So if you join my Instagram page, just also show me, take a picture and send it to me, and I'll send this also amount of money. What is it? They are giving them, a form of work to assimilate them. That, okay, these people are part of me. So you must create a way for them to assimilate them. And that way is just showing a sense of God, believing you and belonging and becoming. And so it's very, very, it's very, very important that we need to do that. As we want to grow, what God has told us to do. So I think that is what I have, I have for you tonight. So if you have any questions, please let me know.
Thank you so much. Our time is fast spent. Awesome presentation. Dynamic, robust as usual. Thank you. You're talking about those 4 beautiful things. I think these things, we need to transcribe it and come up with a material or a book over time. It's 28 minutes now. Basically, maybe our next session will now be a series of questions and answer session. Just be asking you questions. Over your final word tonight so that we can round up.
So my final word tonight, I just want to say, I want to appreciate you, Brother Tyler. I want to appreciate our life, rather than of Jesus Christ. And I want to appreciate people that that joined me. I want to appreciate 3BAs. I want to appreciate Zumba. I want to appreciate people that have been part of this, of this Instagram chat. And I just want to say that I believe God has called you to do something in your life. And for you to do it, you cannot do it alone. You need people around you. Relationship is the make sure you build your brand. And building your brand, start from the of the crowd. Then move people toward congregation. Then to become a committed member. Then to become continue to just like do an example. Just like start and was choosing disciples, 12 disciples. Then he actually people is very, very close to me. Apart from now on, he still have 70 people. Then he still have cloud and share. You need to do that. It's very, very important. Take a big step in creating and determining, and making sure you have a robust field of influence, circle of influence that you surround yourself with. Because let me tell you, the more you surround yourself with positive people, the more better you become. Because the Bible says, iron sharpeneth iron. So shall what? A friend sharpen the kind of strength. It's very, very important that you surround yourself with people that can help you build what God has given to you. Thank you, and have a wonderful night.
Thank you so much. Awesome. Now we've come to the end of the light series with Olumide Ajiginni. Thank you so much. Thank you. See you next week, sir. Thank you. And
Thank you
thanks to
very much.
everyone
Bye.
that joined us. God bless you.
Thank you.